Hi everybody, welcome to week 3 of Poetry for Prose Writers. Last week we read a series of essays on the line break. We listened to some W.S. Merwin and we read the chapter Feelings in our text Don't Read Poetry. You also shared a lyric poem and did a line break exercise. It was all very good work, and thanks for your insights and your good discussions on the discussion page. In week 3, we move on to characters. We'll read a couple more essays on line breaks, and then we'll listen to some poetry by Donica Kelly. And we'll read the next chapter called Characters in our text Don't Read Poetry. You'll also share a character poem that you've read recently or that you found and that you feel it's good enough to recommend. And you'll share your current theory on the poetic line. So based on what you've learned in the first 3 weeks and what you knew before, I just want you to jot down what your line theory is. And I want you to use your theory when we get to your journals. And in your journals, as I said, you'll employ this current line theory of the poetic line on a lyric poem that in some way evokes feeling. Okay, so in the text for this coming week, I thought there was so much good stuff in the characters chapter, and one of the things that I thought was interesting was, and again, right, we only have to find one thing that we find interesting, but when she said how poets can also see themselves in animals, objects, things that are not persons, and things that would never speak except in a poem or a myth or a fairy tale or a fantasy novel. According to Burt, the oldest European talking object poems are riddles, most of which challenge us or the reader to guess what is speaking. And I'm looking further into that for some of my own writing. I thought that was kind of cool. There's one other thing I want to share. It's a paragraph in I think it's page 74. And I just want to read this as a reminder to you about Burt's text and why we're reading it and why she wrote it. She says, "This book describes 6 reasons to read some poems, 6 frames in which a lot of poems I like might fit. It does not describe 6 non-overlapping categories. Some poems can be read for feeling and characters, just as others can be read for feeling and form, or for characters and wisdom. As we make our way through these reasons, these examples, we need to keep in mind that one reason to read one poem, one category into which a poem fits, does not exclude all others. That's especially important when a poem has been pigeonholed or stereotyped or read for just one reason for too many years." So some of you have already mentioned this, and it's just a good reminder that Burt's breaking these up, breaking poetry up into certain frames, certain points of view about reading or enjoying poetry. But there certainly are overlaps. So just keep that in mind, as you're reading Burt and as you're reading poetry. Let's see. I think that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all online throughout the week.